Hey guys, we're Rebel95, recording live from Low County Prison Cell. So, I remember one time, I think it was the last episode I did, I said I wasn't going to do prediction fights for Season 8. I have since decided to not follow that rule because when I looked back at my season 7 predictions that I did, most of them were wrong, but the videos still got really good views anyway. So I'm gonna make predictions, and if they're right, I'll delete them, and if they're wrong, I'll soak up the views. So that sounds like a plan to me. Also, because this is a fight that I came up with shortly before the season 8 thing came out, and then I decided, I'll wait on it. But I was kind of excited to do it when I came up with it. Or not I came up with it, but when I found it. So, for those of you who know, speaking of me finding fights, what I mean by that is I go on a lot of different forums. I go on, I look at fan made death battle scripts. I look at fan requested death battles. I look at trailers on YouTube that are fan made. I look at a lot of, fan requested death battle content to come up with these episodes. And I've been doing that for several years very frequently. Sadly enough. So, and I've been a fan of, I've not been a fan. I was a fan of Steven Universe for a very long time. I kind of dropped off towards the end, to be honest. But I was a fan of Steven Universe for a good couple of years. In that time, I saw a lot of Steven Universe fight requests. And since then, I've seen more. So for the last 6 or 7 years, I've been looking at that. And this fight I am trying to do today, I will tell you, in my opinion, but in my very well-informed opinion, this is the only good Garnet fight I've ever seen. This is Garnet versus Gotenks. It's not good because it's close, because it's very much not close. But it is thematically more fitting than any other Garnet fight. Because you want to know the theme of every other Garnet fight? Garnet versus character that punches. That's it. That's all every other Garnet fight is. Garnet versus Knuckles, Garnet versus Yang, Garnet versus Little Mac, Garnet versus that's every other Garnet fight. So this is the only one that actually has something a little deeper to it. And even if it's a blowout, I'd rather see this than any of those other ones. So yeah, let's start out with Garnet. So Garnet is a gem. She's from the gem homeworld. That means that her actual being, like her consciousness and thought and all of that, is in a gemstone, and her body is a hard light construct created from that, from the thought inside that stone. Right. Um, or in most gems' case, that's how it works. That is still her physical body, but she's actually a gem fusion. She's a combination of ruby and sapphire, which it's weird that all of these are named after the rock that they are, because then doesn't that mean there's thousands of whatever. There's a ton of rubies, but they're still all named Ruby. I don't know, whatever. Um, so rubies are like the foot soldiers, kind of like the mini guerrilla warriors of the gem home world. They're all super strong, super tough, heat resistant. You know, what a good soldier should be. The sapphires are known for being cryokinetics, who also have the ability to see potential future outcomes. Not like they don't predict the future or see exactly what's going to happen. They see potential future outcomes. They see like eventualities, and because of that, they can, you know, say, okay, well, if we do this, then we'll reach this. Yeah. Garnet is a fusion of those two, and she doesn't obtain all of the traits of them, but she does obtain a couple, and then she also gains new abilities from the fusion, in her words, becoming more than the sum of their parts. So she gains, the heat resistance and the super strength from Ruby, the super durability. We've seen her like walk into lava. We've seen her, like lift like giant objects. We've seen her, punch craters into the earth. And from Sapphire's end, she does actually have that future sight, that clairvoyance, but instead of cryokinesis, for some reason, the cryokinesis and the pyrokinesis from the rubies manifests as like electricity. Ice plus fire equals electricity, apparently. I don't know. So she gains that, and what else does she do? She does some other stuff. Yeah, she fights using her gauntlets, which she can increase in size. She can shoot off. Her actual hands. They're like, they're not like if she fires them, she actually like loses her hands or something apparently. But yeah, those are her weapons, and she can even like create like little spikes on the ends of them. And she's been shown to punch. I think it was like she's been able to land like 100 punches in a couple of seconds before. So she is also superhumanly fast. She stated that she could dive into the core of the sun, but I don't think that that's true. But the whole surviving in lava thing is definitely true. And she's also been, she has over 3,000 years of fighting experience because she was fighting on the Gem homeworld as a part of a resistance, and then she came to Earth, when civilization started essentially, and has been fighting in some way or another since then. So she's got thousands of years of combat experience. Anyway, so let's go on to the opponent, Gotenks. Gotenks, it's a Dragon Ball Z character. I don't think like I should have to explain it, but Gotenks is the amalgamation of Trunks and Goten after they use the fusion technique, where two fighters of a similar style and a similar ability can, fuse into one fighter, and their power increases exponentially, but only for 30 minutes at a time. Young Trunks and Goten, as well as in their adult form, they can do this, but young Trunks and Goten have shown this ability, and they also do this just for fun, essentially, because, you know, they want to join in the fight a lot of the time. But anyway, so they develop a lot of techniques in this form um, that are meant to be, that are kind of stupid, to be honest with you, but it's meant to be. There's the Cosmic Halo, or localized Galactic Donut, where they form a ring of energy that they can control telekinetically, and they can wrap it around their opponent. Um, and it kind of like stuns them. There's the what was it called? Oh yeah, they can do things like the Kamehameha, continuous die missiles, um, Super Ghost Kamikaze attack. One of the more funny one where they make these like they make these ghosts that each have their own personality and sentience. They make them out of nothingness apparently, and they can make like any number of them, though it takes time for them to make them. And if those ghosts touch anything, including Gotenks or each other, if they touch anything, they explode automatically. And this is an explosion where a couple of these ghosts were able to completely destroy Super Boo. Well, not completely destroy, but make him splatter all over the place until he came back together. Now, Gotenks was able to reach the form of Super Saiyan, unsurprisingly, because Trunks and Goten were both able to do Super Saiyan. But very surprisingly, Gotenks was able to prematurely reach Super Saiyan 3, skipping 2 altogether, apparently. Where he gained a few more techniques. The one was just him screaming so loud that he could tear through dimensions, because he was able to escape the hyperbolic time chamber without actually leaving. I think that was Victory Cannon in Budokai 3, I'm not sure. And or Budokai 2 actually, I think is where it debuted, but whatever. And the other technique would be the what was it, the Super Boo volleyball spike, where he basically just traps the enemy in a ball of energy and then plays volleyball with it, and spikes him into the ground, which was a rip off of Volleyball Fist. And I'm pissed that Tien never got Volleyball Fist as Dragon Rush in Budokai 3, but that's not that's beyond the or that's besides the point. So, how do I think this fight's gonna go? I know that they are going to try to make Garnet seem so much more powerful, or make Gotenks seem a lot less powerful to make this fight seem more fair. This is a Roshi Jiraiya situation where nobody looking at this fight in their right mind should really think that Garnet can win this at all. However, Garnet does have some cool things that she can do. Like, again, I mentioned the Galactic Donut. Well, Garnet can shapeshift and, like, manipulate her body and, turn into light. So, being able to do that would actually allow her to escape from any sort of, like, trapping thing. I don't know that she could escape from the Boo volleyball thing because that's just energy all around her. Um, but then again, Gotenks did say that it doesn't hold forever, so or it won't hold long, so you have to finish them off when you do it. Um, and also, with things like the future sight and whatnot, she'd be able to see that the fusion only has a time limit of 30 minutes, but there's a difference between lasting 30 minutes, seeing 30 minutes as a time limit, and lasting 30 minutes. Um, Garnet does have regeneration, like all gems, but it takes a long period of time. So it's not like she can, you know, she can shapeshift her arm back if it gets blown off or something, but she can't, like, if her body gets destroyed and she gets turned into a gem, she's not going to be able to regenerate for a while. And as we see with Amethyst, rushed regeneration leads to, like, defects in a gem's makeup, in a gem's body. So she can't really afford to come back super quick and then jump into the fight again. Um, though the thing is, the regeneration would last long. The regeneration would take longer than Gotenks' fusion would last. So, I mean, I don't know, but point is, yeah, I think even with Garnet being able to survive, like, even if we said Garnet can survive the temperature of the sun, which I highly doubt, I think Gotenks is still able to, like, completely just incinerate her to the point where the gem doesn't survive. So, yeah, I mean, as far as how hard Garnet could hit Gotenks, I don't know if it's even comparable. I don't think it's like nothing. But basically, I don't think Garnet has the power output to actually, kill Gotenks, and she has some ways to avoid being killed, but I think Gotenks is definitely able to kill her. And then if we look at, like, flying at Mach speeds and shit, yeah, obviously I think that's something that's not gonna, that's not something that's, yeah, the end of this fight's not really in question. Gotenks is gonna win this. But anyway, I'm glad I did this fight. Um, yeah. So, also, it just feels like forever since I've done one of these. So, anyway, Verbal Engine 95. See ya.